New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota.
I have some exciting news.
What news?
You are fake news.
Well, that's good news.
Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Ditts and Loz. Overnight news.
Oh, we had a bit of an earthquake last night in South Australia. 7:15 last night up in the Adelaide Hills.
Oh, wow. Whereabouts?
Hay Valley is the place, which is a little town near Mount Barker.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, cute with an earthquake going on there, Loza. 2.7 on the Richter scale, so only a little one that, your outdoor setting fell over.
Yeah.
Pick your chairs up.
Yeah.
That's about it. But Adelaide is what they call an active area for
Quakes.
earthquakes. We've had a couple. I think April last year we had one. We've had them in Jamestown. We've had them in Echunga. We've had them up at Mount Barker before. So they happen.
They happen. Well, like we're on a fault line or whatever they call it.
But they're only a little 300 reports. Only a little rumble.
One of those things as a kid, I really was scared of it. Like I thought. I'd seen a lot of those end of times movies where the ground cracks open and things like that.
Fall in the crack.
Yeah, as you said, it's a bit of a deck chair situation. Bruce,
one day we might have a big one.
We might.
Hopefully we're not around to see it.
I agree. Future problem. Bruce Lehman has lost his defamation trial and essentially the judge ruled that...
he did rape her.
Well, yeah, that was the point of the trial, was that defamation's a bit funny like that. Basically, you have to prove that you did or didn't do the crime. Otherwise, it is defamation or it isn't, And they said, according to the evidence, she did not defame you by claiming that you were a rapist. So, essentially calling him a rapist. So,
and then the judge called not only Lerman a liar, but all of them lied.
I think there was a lot of lying going on, according to the judge. And there's a famous sort of a line that's come out of it. Do you know it, Hamish? You mentioned it in the...
Oh, the judge. Yeah, he said, you made the mistake of escaping the lion's den and then coming back for your hat.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's a quotable line.
Trying to get a bit of cash, was he?
Well, yeah, like he got out of it. He didn't get convicted.
Yeah, he escaped the criminal trial.
And then come back to try and get some cash.
Yeah,
you defamed me.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can happen.
Hey, there's been a new planking record broken in the world, a world planking record by a 58-year-old woman. She's planked for 4 hours, 30 minutes and 11 seconds.
Hang on. Didn't we...
I think it must be for females.
Oh, okay, the women's category.
Yeah.
That's a long time. How old did you say she was?
58. She's been planking for 12 years. She said she just took it up and loved it because she could multitask at the same time. And I thought, well, what can you do while you're planking?
On your iPad, I guess.
Read.
Yeah, read.
Yeah. I don't think you can do a hell of a lot else other than waste time. But what was the lad's name that we had in here? Was it Michael or
Michael. Yeah, Michael, and he
8 hours.
He's got an 8 hour. He was going for 14.
That's a world record.
Yeah, he did it for our entire show, 3 hours, and it was not an issue. He was just his girlfriend came and was feeding him nuts. She was sitting here just having a chat with him.
Yeah.
I think. Did you say she's 58? The woman. There is
your grandmother.
Well, there's a subspecies of women that age who are powerfully athletic, and if you ever climbed Mount Lofty,
subspecies.
There's a group of women out there. They're out there right now. You might not know it when
just called fit people.
Well, they're not just fit. There's something about them. They are machines. If you've ever climbed Mount Lofty, you've been overtaken by a group of them, and they're talking to each other, like, anyway, so I said to Jeff, on the steepest part, and you're dying, like, and, everyone's technically fit, and then they overtake you, so I'm not surprised by that.
I got overtaken by a woman on a bike one day.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was a bad moment in my life.
Oh.
I was cruising. I used to ride to Triple M and back in the mornings, which my wife didn't like because it's reasonably dangerous. Anyway, I'm riding home along Green Hill Road. And I'm putting in the hard yards. I'm having a crack, trying to get a workout. And then all of a sudden, this lady just rides straight past me and frizzy hair everywhere. And I'm going, that's got to be an e-bike or something. I'm going hard here. And this lady's just going straight past me. Yeah. I thought, I'm gone. I'm dead.
She's probably a grandmother. Her name's Sharon.
No, it was Jenny Williams. It was Mark Williams, Choco Williams' sister.
Really?
But I'm sure it was an e-bike. It had to be. Otherwise,
she's a freak.
I'm dead. I'm gone.
And this is just a bit of a warning issued from doctors. They're saying that you shouldn't pee in the shower. Which
come on.
They're saying what it does is it causes a bit of a psychological thing where every time you hear running water, your brain
that's natural, isn't it?
Surely that doesn't come from peeing in the shower.
No,
that's
just
trickling.
Just like saying don't Poor face, because the
the rain's
wind will
going to
change.
change. Yeah, the wind will change.
And
But
it'll stay the same
it
or
was a
whatever.
Seinfeld episode, wasn't it?
Why couldn't you just wait?
I was there! I saw a drain!
Since when is a drain a toilet?
It's all pipes! What's the difference?
Different pipes go to different places.
I'll call a plumber right now!
All right, can we just drop all the pee-pipe stuff here?
In my opinion, it's George is right.
Yeah, but don't they go to different places?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to do a number 2 in the shower.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just water.
Bit of wee won't hurt anyone.
Diluted wee is not going to,
God, I've been
it's
weeing
storm
in
drain.
Weeing in the river at Waker, and it comes down here, and people showering that all the time.
Think of how much wee Mark Prosciutto's wee we've all
That's
probably
right.
drunk. It's a bit.
Rude, it's
No wonder your
the
hair's curly.
Triple M.
New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota. 3 generations, 1 topic.
Have you ever heard of the generation gap?
On Triple M Breakfast,
The generation gap.
it's the generation gap.
Oh, we like to bring together all different kinds of people from all different walks of life with all different views on things and have just a brief little chat. And today's topic is marriage. I feel like there's been a bit of a shift, maybe in my generation. I don't know. I don't know if people feel like they need to get married anymore. Is it an archaic thing? We've got Jared. You're a millennial.
Millennial.
You're a millennial. We've got John Reed on the line. Good morning, grumpy old man John Reed. You're a boomer.
Yep.
And we've got, well, look, Flack, you are representing Gen X.
Yep.
But we just found out you're actually a millennial, and I'm so sorry that we assumed you're a Gen X.
I'm
He looks like an X.
I'm on the edge. I'm
Yeah.
on the edge. So yeah, X or top end of Y, I'll take it.
You got a few
Okay.
boomer vibes too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with you, Reedy. How do you feel about marriage? Do you think it's still important? Do you think is there a difference between how you feel going to bed as an engaged person and how you feel waking up as a married person? Does it change things?
Once upon a time, I would have said yes, but I think it's changed. I think you only got to look at the stats, the number of people who get married, and then it undoes. So I don't think it does. I think the old days of they had to get married and all this, and I think that's pretty well gone. I think to me, I don't see any different to someone who's married versus someone living together. It doesn't make any difference.
All right, let's go to you, Flack. Good answer there, Reedy. Thank you very much. Let's go to you, Flack. How do you feel about marriage? Man who recently got engaged.
Look, and yes, a year ago I got engaged. I am 41, so I've left it very late in life to do it. So with that in mind, and knowing that I am currently planning a wedding, it is the dumbest, most overexpensive, stupid jip that's ever happened to humankind.
So you're looking forward to it?
I'm on the train because my fiance wants to get married.
Yeah.
But if I had a choice, I would not do it. I wouldn't spend the money. I don't see the point of it. You're still in a couple. You're still in a relationship. Why do you need a bit of paper and a very expensive party?
No.
It's a complete waste of money. And don't get married.
Flack.
Eternal optimist.
I don't think you will be getting married after that. Jared, you are recently engaged as well. How do you feel about...
Very recently engaged, and I know that was a dig because I had my engagement show on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I believe in them, and I believe in marriage too, but I think I actually might be the only one. I'm 29 now, and of my close group of mates, I am the second one to get engaged, and sort of looking around, a lot of people have fully skipped the step. I reckon I've got 2 or 3 friends who are pregnant or already have kids, and I don't reckon that they will tie the knot. And it's probably fully for the reason that Flack said it is out of control. You can be frugal, but there's a lot of money in wedding.
And if you want to do it cheap, you end up having to do so much on your own, which puts so much pressure on relationships.
Just give it to the wife to do.
Well, I've seen so many mother-in-laws
Risky.
and in-laws. Come on now.
It'll be a big blowout.
Yeah, that's true. Just don't give it a card.
I've just seen that sort of put a lot of pressure on relationships if you want to do it cheap. But yeah, I think you're all probably a bit right. I do think there is pressure from women to tie men down a bit just to prove that they are committed. Because there is always this feeling with blokes that they're like, yeah, no, I love you, great, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then you go,
Till next weekend.
yeah, but do you really? I need proof. I need a ring.
I heard many years ago that, Roo, when you got married, and you've been married for how many years?
Fair few. 16.
I heard that you had such a wonderful wedding and it planned so well that you made money off the wedding.
Oh, come on. I might have.
I was at the wedding and I reckon he made money.
Rumour confirmed.
It was a bit rude of me putting a poker machine in every hotel room, wasn't it? Good on you, Reedy. Thanks for joining us. Flack, go back to SAFM. And Jazz, thanks very much for inviting us to your engagement show.
You're welcome.
One of the sad days in Australian history on the weekend when 6 people were stabbed to death at the Bondi Junction at Westfield, and we're still trying to understand how it happened, why it happened. Can this happen in the future? We're going to speak to Channel 9 psychologist Sandy Ray now to try and inform us and enlighten us and make us understand the situation more. Sandy, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Roo and Loz. Thank you.
We hear that Joel Gauci had schizophrenia, and I think I was very happy. I read a few articles on the weekend before coming on the radio, so I understood schizophrenia a fraction more. But tell us, how do most people with schizophrenia go managing their condition?
That's a really good question. I think it's really important here to negate any fear that schizophrenics are violent. They, by and large, schizophrenia does not make one violent. Typically, what makes people violent are their predisposition to violence, so they've got a history of violence, and comorbid with alcohol or substance misuse. So they're the things that predispose people to acts of violence. And schizophrenia, the research is overwhelmingly clear that that does not predispose them to acts of violence. I don't want people to feel any sense of greater fear that they know of a schizophrenic or the family member is now going to be targeted or stigmatised.
The article I read actually said 99.9% of schizophrenia people or schizophrenics are fine. Is that right, or is that an exaggeration?
That's right. That's absolutely right. So that like all people who, like all human beings, I should say, it depends on the environment, it depends on the context, if they're compliant with their medication. And the medication, antipsychotic medication, certainly has a huge impact on managing the disorder. So we know that schizophrenia, people living with schizophrenia, can often come in and out of their schizophrenia. It's not as though they're not necessarily permanently living in that state. So we know that they may interpret reality differently. They may have hallucinations or delusions. Some of their thinking is very disordered, how they understand people's social abilities or how they read nonverbal behaviour. Their moods might be heightened anger or anxiety. So they're the sorts of things that are managed with medication and with psychological intervention.
Now, you just spoke about medication there. Speaking personally, people in my personal life, even with myself, sometimes the temptation is when things are going well and you're on medication, sometimes you might have a temptation to try and wean off because you have maybe a false belief that you're better now, you don't need it anymore. How do we deal with that? I mean, I've got a friend at the moment who's trying to come off some medication and maybe doesn't necessarily see the difference personally in her life with what she's like on it and off it. Who's in charge of that decision, and what's the support like for people who are trying to come off their medication?
That is such a good question and a very controversial one.
Yeah.
Very controversial. I'll very briefly explain why it's controversial.
Okay.
So very quickly. So in the old days, we used to give medication and we used to have a treatment that was what's called in the biomedical model. And that means we try and fix people up and they get to their old state.
Yeah.
Right? We have shock therapy or we institutionalise them. And that's why in the 70s, 60s and 70s, we deinstitutionalised psychiatric facilities. So people with a lot of mental illness now live in the community.
Yeah.
And the whole thrust of that is that it's to empower the client to make and determine their own decisions, what they want to choose and how they want to live their life.
Yeah.
So the whole model of mental health is very much centred on the patient making their own decisions, alongside with their therapist or their doctor or their psychiatrist. So it's a really good question. On the one hand, we want to empower patients to say, well, I feel like I'm going pretty well. But on the other hand, what risk are they placing themselves at by perhaps deciding they don't need their meds?
Yeah.
So this is really I guess, a philosophical, societal and governmental political question. How do we encourage people? Well, I guess in the immediate, if you've got someone, a friend or a family member, you try and point out different parts of their behaviour that were working before and perhaps not working now. Mm-hmm. How do they want to live their life? Are they upset? Is their anxiety increasing? So I guess gently reminding them of different behaviours that you might be observing.
Do you think what we're doing now is the right way?
I think it's a controversial way. I mean, I certainly like the idea, and in fact I'm doing my PhD on recovery, believe it or not. I certainly like the idea of patients being empowered.
The idea, everyone likes the idea, but does it work?
Exactly. So the other thing is then, do we go back to this autocratic, institutionalised view of mental health? And that equally has its limitations, and there was no evidence that sort of institutionalisation worked. So what do we do? Yeah. How much more money do we spend? Really, if I was to be very, very honest, what works is early intervention. Yeah. What works is having psychologists and therapists and counsellors at 5 years age in schools. So what really, like physical health, what works the best is early intervention. If you're hearing impaired, we identify newborn babies if they have a hearing loss. Yep. Same with mental health. There's no difference. The earlier we get in, that's what works.
All right, Sandy, thanks for joining us. Sandy Ray there, Brilliant. Channel 9 psychologist. And it's a very interesting topic. We could talk about that for a long, long time.
We really could. We probably will off air all morning, to be honest. I think a lot of people will be talking about it at work, and it's very complex, and it's ultimately just...
I think some people think both ways, to be honest.
I know. Yeah, it splits people down the middle.
And there's positives and negatives of both.
Yeah.
For all your steel supplies, it has to be Centurion Steel. Centurion.com.au.
G'day, it's Tex Walker from the Crows.
Come on.
Let's talk about Tex.
Let's talk about Tex.
Oh, Tex feels like we won the premiership.
Just settle down, Roo.
No, I am settled down. I'll tell you what, it's the most happiest I've called a Port game for a long time. I was down on the boundary doing the pre-game for the Port game.
Right, yeah.
Watching it, and there was 6 cameramen standing around the TV screen, and one bloke was a Carlton supporter. I said, bugger off, you've already won enough close games. We're due to win a close one. And then when we won, everyone was happy. So you must have felt very good after the game.
Yeah, very pleasing, Roo. For a number of reasons, we were able to play the way we wanted to play.
Yep.
We were able to beat a finals contender, and they're very good in the clutch stages of games. So we were able to execute under pressure what we want to do in certain scenarios. So... yeah, it was great that Bez was able to come on and have an impact.
Yeah, Sam Berry done some good things this year, hasn't he?
He's done some really good things, old Dingle. So
Dingle? Elaborate.
Dingleberry.
No,
he was very good, and I thought our midfield were outstanding on the weekend, and Rob once again gave him a great look at it, and
big Riley O'Brien.
Yeah, everyone played their role, which was great.
So no Crouchy this week, your great mate. I can see how he got suspended, but I can't see how Butters didn't get in. Not that it's not a Port Crows thing, Port supporters. They were so similar, the instances, but how he can't even get a fine is a bit crazy, I think. But anyway, Crouchy's out, and Sam Berry will have to come in and play a very similar role.
I sit here as a player who confused.
Yes, well, I think everyone out there in the landscape is confused. Well done to Zach for getting off. Congratulations and good luck. Just doesn't make any sense. Sam Berry come in, won't he?
I think he will, yeah. Obviously, mid for mid, like for like, so would probably, put your house on it or...
No,
stop that.
No, don't gamble.
Yeah. The relief around the state. I mean, my family group chat, the second the siren went, my mum just sent the crying emojis.
She was upset.
No, happy. Happy tears. Huge relief.
Jared, our producer, had his engagement show, and he said the party went into overdrive after it. He said, no, this is no joke. The booze went from full eskies to empty eskies, and someone had to do a run down to Hurley Cellars straight afterwards to stock up and get more booze.
What? So he thought everyone was happy for the engagement.
Yeah,
but he was. I think he was happy that both, and his party kicked into overdrive.
I saw a video of the engagement party, and the entire engagement party was watching TV. So,
Well, it's a win that was very good, but we got to get on with it now.
Yeah,
we
I know,
can't
but-
sit here and.
just let us enjoy it. Come on.
We got
5 minutes.
Yeah, well, the 5 minutes is nearly done, so we'll enjoy it for
All
a little
right.
bit longer. And
All right, we'll
we've got a
come
main
back.
session in a minute.
You got what?
Our main session in a couple of
All
hours.
right,
so-
we'll come back in a minute and talk about that.
Tex. Let's talk about Tex.
Benny Keys played really well on the weekend, signed a new deal, I think it was late last week, but announced yesterday. What does he do for the club, Keysy?
Oh, makes Loz smile.
Love him.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Keysy.
I love how hard he works.
he's a champ. I love Keysy, and unbelievable reward for effort. He's unbelievable work rate. He's a great fella.
Great role model, isn't he, at the club?
He's amazing, yeah. He's part of the reason why our culture is where it's at, and he's played a fair few games in a row for our footy club. I'm not going to continue on that conversation because I don't want to jinx him.
No, yeah. Is that how it works? You kick 3 goals and you come off and then there's just a contract waiting for you, like straight away to sign? Or?
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine.
Oh, okay.
He's totally deserving of it, and he's a ripper. We're so lucky that we've been able to get him over, and he's made the most of his second opportunity for sure.
Darren Burgess, our head of high performance down at the Crows, is widely regarded as one of the best in international sport, let alone AFL.
Yeah, didn't he work for like Liverpool or something?
Yeah, done everything.
How do I know that?
Yeah, you do know a lot of things, Loz, about sport. Tex, you've got a bit of update on he might be injured.
He is a bit injured. He hasn't been doing his prep to train and injury prevention properly. And I think on the weekend on Sunday, from my reports, that he must have ripped the hamstring playing soccer.
Oh, no.
Playing soccer.
Fitness injury guru has pulled his own hamstring.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
He
no.
was absent from training yesterday.
Oh, you better check to see if he's been doing his rehabilitation and
those
doing all
who
his
can't
injury
do teach,
prevention.
yeah.
I'll be making sure he does every single bit like he makes me do every single
Yeah.
bit of it. So, no, we wish him the best. He's an absolute champion.
Oh,
I
you'd
love
be
Bird
spewing
Day.
if you were him. Oh, you just know you're going to cop
Practice
it.
what you preach.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly right. You got a joke for us, Texan, before you leave us?
Well, we had a little frog bounce around our backyard the other day, so we
Cute.
got it DNA tested, and he turns out he was a part Irish, part British, and a tadpole.
I really like that.
That was good.
That's good.
That's good.
All right. Well,
Where's Ditmar?
That's a good question.
Is he checking out aging homes or
retirement villages.
retirement villages, or what's he doing?
Yeah, you got to check in early. He's
Yeah.
60 now.
No, he's on long service leave.
Oh,
He's
is
just
he?
taken a week off, which I
Suppose-
didn't know you could do.
When you're 75,
I'll be gone
you can do
mid-June.
it.
Yeah, celebrating another Port victory. Get on your Tex. Get out there Friday night. How many? 4, 5, 6
What we win by?
goals?
I don't care as long as we win.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's exactly
See
right.
you,
Get the
Roo.
4 points.
Roo and Loz.
It's 7:24, and you're waking up with Roo, Ditts and Loz.
Oh, the Live Like Roo, Ditts and Loz competition where we've got 10 people with cardboard cutouts trying to get as much exposure as possible all over Adelaide's going off on the text line on 04 888 1047. There's someone dressed up as Wally from Where's Wally up on the Crafers footbridge up there.
Yeah.
There's heaps of people coming into town seeing that one. There's lots of people down in Richmond Road. We said people out at Peter Kittle Toyota. So the cardboard cutouts are out and about. So
We've got
text
Liam
in.
from Mount Barker on the line. Where have you seen us, Liam?
Oh, I've just seen you on the footbridge over Crafers on the
Yeah.
freeway there.
Yep. Did
Oh,
you
good
see
on you, Liam.
with Where's Wally?
Yeah, where's Wally? Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
beautiful. Good on you, Liam. All right. Well, the people are seeing them out and about
Are
everywhere.
you worried about the welfare of our cardboard cutouts?
I'm
What's
worried
gonna happen
about
to them?
you and Ditts more than me at this stage.
There's
But
a
anyway,
prime opportunity for some very good
especially
graffiti.
if you keep pointing it out.
Yeah. Well, look, I just think it needs to be done already.
All right. No worries. Do it, everyone. You've got permission from Loz. Tex Walker still in the studio. We're going to ask him next how they're going to knock off Essendon on Friday night at Adelaide Oval.
It's Roo, Ditts and Loz and Tex Walker live in the studio. Triple M.
AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Roo, Ditts and Loz.
Oh,
Bit
absolutely.
of whispering there from our sound man,
That's
Sam.
because we tell people what's happening before it even happens. And I've got a couple big rumours brewing in the background, Loz. That
When are you going to drop them?
I need to get some approval from high up for one of them.
I think what a lot of people probably don't know is how much goes into the segment in terms of just getting legally checked and making sure we're not ruining anyone's life, because some of the things we've dropped in the past have been quite big. Yeah, we take it very seriously.
All right, let's go to Aberfoyle Park. We got Pete on the line here. G'day, Pete.
Yeah, g'day again, guys.
You got a rumour for us?
I have, yep. I hear there's like a certain event coming up, sporting event, where there's this beverage company distiller have made food-gradable shoes, and they're going to hand them out so they can put their beverage in the shoes to these people so they can do shoeies.
Hang on, okay.
Great. Okay.
I instantly have 1,000 questions. Can you tell us the company?
Yeah, I believe it is called Hard Fizz. They do alcoholic seltzers.
Okay, so first of all, that checks out because that's co-owned by Fisher, who's the DJ who is going to be closing LIV Golf.
Sporting event.
And he does shoeies famously. So he could potentially, this makes sense. That
so there'll be Fisher, there'll be 1,000 shoes with 1,000
and everyone
people
gets to do
drinking
the
out of
shoes
them.
at the same time. Okay.
And hygienic and safe.
How edible are these shoes? Are we talking like proper edible shoes or just food grade, like they won't poison you?
Yeah, just food grade. That's right. Okay. So there's no harm.
Okay.
Okay.
No harm.
In drinking it, and I believe it's going to be at LIV Golf.
You can see it going off on social media and everything.
I have no doubt.
All right, that's a great rumour, Pete. That'll be hard to
done,
beat. So, LIV Golf coming up on after Anzac Day. So we only have to wait a couple of weeks to see if that one comes off.
He might be a front runner.
He may
Can
well be.
Can you defeat Pete?
Yeah. The Rumour Mill. You just heard Adelaide's most listened to segment at 7:40 every morning. It's Roo, Ditts and Loz. Triple M.
Every now and then something will happen where you go, are we living in like a video game or a simulation? Like what? The coincidences that can happen make you question everything.
Yeah, they can.
Make you think there's a higher power or something weird going on. Because I was at the pub the other night and I was having a beer with my friend Sam and we were just having a chat. We were the only two people out the front, and then this bloke came and sat down 2 tables from us, sort of an older gentleman. And after about 10 minutes, he asked us a very simple question. Are there any tour buses that you can take around Adelaide for a tourist? And we didn't know the answer, but it got us chatting to him because he was from the Netherlands, so we had a little chat to him about that. We asked him all these questions. Turns out he used to live in Adelaide when he was really little. His parents moved over here. Until he was about 10, they lived in Adelaide, and then they went back to the Netherlands, and he decided to come back and visit his hometown where he grew up. And we were talking to him for a while, and then I just sort of said, so what suburb did you grow up in? And he said, a suburb called Torrensville. And I went, oh, that's where I live now. That's hilarious. I said, what street? And I'll use a fake street because I don't want to give my actual address. He said Shipster Street. And I said, I live on Shipster Street now.
Bloody hell.
And he went, I said, what number? And he said 15. And I went, I'm at 17 Shipster Street. It was the next house down. And all the hairs on my arm stood up, and my friend went, what the hell is going on? And I just went, what? Why? Why is this weird? And then we got up on Google Maps. He remembered my house because it's an old house. He said, I used to know the people that lived there. It was
Still
just...
got a camera drilled in the hole from the house next door.
Yeah. But of all the suburbs, of all the gin joints and all the towns, we ended up sitting next to him. He asked us a question. We chatted, and it turns out he grew up in the house next door to mine.
How many beers do you have after that?
Too
20?
many, yeah.
Hey, what about the strange event that happened with Paul Salmon, how he got struck with lightning twice?
I unzipped and I had another crack and
oh, no.
a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning, and I wasn't too far away when smack it happened again.
Bloody hell.
And this one dropped me to my knees and I'm gone all numb again. I've crawled halfway back to the house and I got to the door and my wife's looking at me again. She said, surely not. And I'm going,
Oh, sorry for laughing at this. I've heard that story 20 times. He used to play for Essendon and Hawthorn, Paul Salmon. He went out for a wee and got struck by lightning, then went out and did it again and got done again.
You can't.
That can't happen.
The odds on that are insane.
It'd have to be 1 billion to 1.
I mean, like, it just makes you think something's going on.
What about this? Over in Streaky Bay, my
This is
wife
my
gave
favourite.
my kids her credit card to go and buy something to leave her alone so she could enjoy a Saturday over at the pub with the blokes. Lost the card, and then Jared, our producer's mate, happened to be scuba diving over there. Lorenzo, how the hell did you find my wife's bloody credit card?
Jumped in the jetty and I took my mask for a bit of a snorkel around. And I looked under the ladder and I could see a little crab on the bottom in the seagrass. I looked underneath it and there it was. It was a ANZ Black Platinum.
What, credit card?
Credit card?
Yeah. Whose name was on it? Whose name was on it?
It had Sarah Rashido on it.
Oh, he'd put a bit of mayo on that. She doesn't own a black credit card, I can tell you that.
But the fact that, okay, first of all, when
Yeah.
you lose something in the sea, you're never seeing it again.
No.
The fact that he found it, but he knew our producer, he's mates with him too.
And it had a crab on it.
It had a crab sitting on the top,
No.
and then he came down the pub and dropped it off.
Yep.
What are the
I
odds?
was just out there.
Freaky. We're talking crazy coincidences. I met a man at the pub who grew up in Adelaide, then moved to the Netherlands when he was 10. He was like 60 years old.
He lived in the house next door to you.
Turns out that he grew up in the house next door to the one that I currently live in.
Oh.
Weird.
It is weird. Let's go to Blakeview. Catherine, tell us your crazy coincidence.
Good morning, everyone. So back in 2000, I was heading to America via Japan, first time going overseas. And so a day before I was due to leave, they told me that they had forgot to book my hotel in the stopover in Narita in Japan.
Oh.
And so they booked another hotel for me, which was really great. I get to Sydney, didn't want to travel in between two men because I was just, a bit nervous.
Yeah.
So I said, you're not putting me between two men, are you? And they went, no, we'll change you. Put me between this guy and this girl. So we travelled to Japan together. Turns out that not only were they in the same hotel as me, but they were on the same floor as me, and they were actually in the rooms next door to me. Now, I had asked to have my seat changed and got put with these guys.
Wow.
So, and then the following day, because I had been told about some temples to go and check out on the stopover, they didn't know about it. The three of us hung out together. One girl spoke a bit of Japanese, and so that was really helpful. And then they let us go on the plane together back, on the way to LAX, and we parted ways. But seriously,
weird.
We were on the same floor,
Yeah.
next to each other, and I asked for everything got changed from what it was originally.
You haven't bumped into him since?
No, but we it was just an awesome experience, and we got to say goodbye when we hit
Nice
LAX.
one. Nice one, Catherine. Thanks for calling. Let's go to Birkenhead. Shane, what's your crazy coincidence?
Morning, guys. I've been hit by lightning, or nearly, 3 times now.
Pardon me?
Come off it, Shane.
Shane, give us every
Tell
single
us
one.
what happened.
I'm a lightning conductor. First one, late 90s, I was working on merchant seaman on a gas tanker carrying 125,000 cubic metres of liquid gas up to Japan.
Wow.
Big ship.
Yeah.
Like the size of aircraft carriers. And, we got...
What, hit the tanker?
Storm on a gas tanker.
Gee.
Was there an explosion?
No, it hit the lightning conductor, but it shook the whole ship, and the ship weighs 105,000 tonnes.
Oh, that's heavy, yep. When's the next time you've been hit?
Second time was on another ship going on the way from here to Fremantle, out in the Bight. And I was at the radio officer station on the computer, and lightning hit directly above my head onto the antennas.
How do you know?
Well, the computer blinked out and then came up with a message, antenna over voltage.
Okay. All right, so you got done twice, and then what happened the third time?
I was just sitting at home in my study at the back of my house, and there's a power pole right outside my window.
Oh, what happened?
So here in Birkenhead, big storm come through. The lightning hit the top of the power pole outside my window, exploded all the top of the pole, basically.
Whoa. Are you a power supporter?
I am, actually.
There you go.
Gee whiz.
Goodness me.
Bloody stiff. Don't stand next to Shane.
I'm worried for
Let's
Shane.
head out to Williston. Chris, what's your crazy coincidence?
Yeah, g'day there.
Yeah, so originally from Gawler, and decided to chase the mining dollar, and we moved away and ended up over in the Eyre Peninsula in Cow.
Right.
And we kept our house and rented it out.
Yep.
And during the last 15 years, we subdivided it and sold the block of land off behind the house in Gawler.
Yeah.
And last couple of years, the lad decided that he wanted to come to school back over in Adelaide or back over in the Barossa area, and we moved back over. And as I'm cleaning the house out, the guy from behind, he goes, "Oh, you the new tenant?" And I said, "No, I'm the owner." And he said, "Oh, yeah, no worries. Whereabouts are you from?" And I said, "I'm from over at Cow." And he said, "Oh, my sister comes from Cow." And I said, "Oh, what's her name?" And he said her name, and it just happens that she is the backdoor neighbour of my house in Cow.
What?
No, yeah, I know. How bizarre is that?
So
It just blew me away.
Yeah, well, that can happen. Yep. Good on you, Chris.
Good on you, Chris. Kelly and Paralawi, what's your big coincidence?
Well, my first big coincidence is obviously one of the Roo, Ditts and Loz competitors on the corner of Main North Road and Kings Road right now from Peter Kittick Toyota.
Well done, Kelly.
Been here all morning, so it's been great. Coincidence was when I got divorced and my house got sold, the lady that bought it contacted me about some mail that kept coming there. And long story short, we found out we had a mutual friend, and I said, "Well, how do you know this mutual friend?" "Oh, yeah, we live next door to her grandparents," which the house that she lived in was my grandparents' house before they moved on. So it's not only my marital house, but my grandparents' family house she lived in.
Wow,
there
Kelly.
you go.
Good stuff. Good story.
Very good.
Studio. Ditts is away this week.
Where's my cousin?
And because we miss him terribly,
Ditmar's away on his little break, so it's just Roo and I.
it's time for your daily dose of Ditts.
Oh, I miss his little voice.
We do. We miss little Ditsy and his red eyes on a Monday morn.
Especially after a Port winning their 4-1.
We should have had someone do a bit of a welfare check.
Imagine what Ditts would have said if I said that Butters was lucky not to get suspended.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, what would remember those "What would Jesus do" bracelets? We need a "What would Ditts say" bracelet. What would Ditts say?
We're just going to play a replay one. So he had to look after his little granddaughter once, which he gets excited. He loves being a grandpa.
Little Frankie, she's so cute.
He's a little bit uncoordinated on a slippery dip.
What I learnt over the weekend, look, I had a bad incident. At the age of 59, stopped going down slippery dips. All right.
What happened?
Oh my God. And I've got a photo of it.
When's this?
Saturday morning with the little granddaughter who's 18 months old. And imagine you're at the top of the slippery dip because she wants to go down it. And I said, I'll take her down. She's sitting on my lap. So imagine I've got both hands around her waist.
Yeah.
So as we take off and we gain a bit of speed, I'm going, and I've got those really silky, slippery running shorts on, which I should never wear running shorts, as I've found out.
No.
But I go flying off the end, and I'm airborne.
I'm
holding her, so I can't use my hands, and I'm going, this is going to end bad, and I come crashing down. Now, I'm struggling to sit down. I've actually really hurt
You landed on your butt.
My right buttocks is bruised to bugger, and I've got to go to physio. I've actually really hurt myself.
You've damaged your coccyx.
I've come flying off the end, and I'm airborne, and I just went, oh no, and bang, I hit the ground, and holding her up, and I've got my hands up in the air so she doesn't crash. Oh, only about 1,000 people. So my son has taken a photo of me, and I'm laying sprawled on the ground in agony. I couldn't move for a while.
Did Frankie cry?
No, but they just came and picked her up and walked off, and I went, yeah, don't worry about me. I'll just lay here.
It's such a good... Oh, wow.
The old slippery Ditts.
Slippery Ditts.
Oh, he's a funny man, old Ditts. He'll be back next Monday, though.
Yeah.
He'll be fresh and ready to
Are
go
we going to
again.
do a daily dose of Ditts every day?
I believe so.
Oh, I love
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, like your vitamin C.
It's Roo, Ditts and Loz. Triple M.
Sports Card World, the specialists in sports cards and trading card games. Sports Card World, Region Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Ditts and Loz.
What a goal!
Overnight sports.
Oh, the Crows had a good win over Carlton in Melbourne on the weekend. Tex Walker joined us this morning and talked about it.
We were able to play the way we wanted to play.
Yep.
We were able to beat a finals contender, and they're very good in the clutch stages of games. So we were able to execute under pressure what we want to do in certain scenarios. So Yeah, it was great that Bez was able to come on and have an impact.
Yeah, Sam Berry done some good things this year, hasn't he?
He's done some really good things, old Dingles.
So has Ben Keesey signed a new deal to stay with the Crows for another 3 years. We asked Tex about Adelaide not choosing to challenge Matt Crouch's one-match ban, and Tex couldn't quite get his head around it.
I sit here as a player who confused.
Yes, well, I think everyone out there in the landscape is confused. Yeah, and that's talking about Crouch's suspension and Zach Butters' non-suspension, or even fine with it, because they're both very similar instances. But good luck to Zach Butters. He's got off. Crouch, he hasn't. Port Adelaide has got some great news. This is excellent for Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, who started the season fantastically, coming from Essendon back to Port Adelaide. His right shoulder is fine. He'll be able to play against Collingwood this Saturday afternoon at the G. That's a huge clash for Port Adelaide up against last year's premiers Saturday afternoon. They'll be looking forward to that. Collingwood's Nathan Murphy is reportedly weighing up his footy future and may even retire with concussion, they're saying, due to the medical report. So we'll find out about that very, very shortly. West Coast Harley Reid's been nominated as the Round 5 Rising Star after having 27 disposals on the weekend against their win over Richmond. And Hawthorn goal-kicking great Jason Dunstall will be elevated to legend status in the AFL Hall of Fame in June. Well done to Jason Dunstall. We will be speaking to Jason Dunstall when we record The Bump this morning with Jars and Bernie. So go to Roo, Ditts and Loz and search your podcast if you want to listen to The Bump.
Triple M's Live with Roo, Ditts and Loz. To live like Roo, Ditts and Loz. And score one of 3 awesome Live Golf prizes. Live Golf Adelaide, April 26 to 28. Tickets at livegolf.com.
Oh, this is going to be huge. We've picked out 10 listeners to do all the dirty work and go and take out cardboard cutouts of us all over Adelaide today. They're going to be out in the main road trying to get a bit of promotion for us. And if you see the cutouts out there, get on the text line 048885 1047. Tell us where you've seen us. The prizes are awesome. Ditts is just going off. He's going to the UK. 2 tickets to the UK Live Golf over there. You can have flights and accommodation and live like Ditts. That'll be unbelievable.
You could live like Roo with the 2 corporate hospitality tickets to the watering hole at Live Golf Adelaide and get an inside the ropes experience on event day.
Yeah, went off last year with a hole-in-one. Or you could live like Loza and have a double pass to Live Golf Adelaide with the best seats in the house for Fisher. Do a couple of shoeies there and have a big day and then rock up to work. Crook has on Monday.
Sounds exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, one of the people taking part is Chris from Craigmore. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic, mate.
You're the clubhouse leader.
Yep, doing very well.
Yeah, it was hard work.
Where'd you go yesterday?
Just got busy early and went on the celebrity watch. Found a couple people lurking around the car park.
Where?
I didn't want to give that away.
The Crazy Horse? What car park were you at?
I was down one of the footy clubs, Adelaide United, there before they nicked off to play Melbourne tonight.
Adelaide United?
Oh. Oh, he's being coy.
Come on, Chris.
He doesn't want to give away any of his trade secrets, but, mate, you put it on the internet.
Yeah,
so,
you're on. We've seen it, mate. We're just trying to lead you into it.
Did you got some pictures with the Crows?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was great yesterday.
Yeah, nice.
Clinic down there. There was kids everywhere. Good day down at it.
Yes.
With Sloaney.
They had a big training session down there. Actually, my son was down there doing that. So you had a photo with Sloaney and the Big Fog?
Yep, both of them. Great blokes.
Well done.
Very happy to see me.
They are.
Well
good
done,
fellas.
mate. All right. Well, keep on going. There'll be challenges every day. Today's challenge is just to get us out in the roads. And, you score points that way, but lots of fun.
All
the
right.
more exposure you get it, basically, the more points you get.
If anyone sees it, go to 048885 1047.